All right, happy Sunday. It is June 29th, and I am ready to get started with today's stuff. So first of all, I'm going to digress. I'm going to go and show you this cool thing that I built. So this is in WordPress. If anybody has ever blogged using WordPress, you know that you have to get images for your blog post, and it could be through Pexels or Pixabay or some kind of thing. Let me actually switch my screen. So here's WordPress. Okay. And so I was like, well, there's this annoying thing called copyright, and so you're limited with what pictures you're going to use, and Pexels and Unsplash and Pixabay are all great, but sometimes you don't have what you need. So I, with the help of AI, coded my own WordPress plugin. How cool is that? So I'm going to show you how it works. AI image generator. We're just going to use our default model. So this connects to my API at Runware, and it's got a ton of models. This thing is freaking awesome, and it costs, the model that I'm using now costs like less than a penny per generation. So that's why I can do stuff like a robot gang eating spaghetti in a idyllic Malibu sunset scene. And I go, bam, generate the image. Let's see how long it takes. Freaking awesome. I got a copyright-free image at less than a penny. Even if it was like 10 cents, it would still be worth it because the time savings is just worth it, man. Just like make a blog post, create your image right there. And I made this. I didn't pay for AI image generator. I created this using AI. How cool is that? So that's a little bit of inspiration. And then the other funny thing I wanted to show you guys is I saw this somewhere on Reddit. Let me give you context before I show you the picture. And somebody was like, make a picture of what the country would look like after 4 years of me as president, me being the person who made this. And their picture was this ridiculous, like, dystopian nightmare. And so I was like, okay, let's see what my country would look like what the country would look like if I were president. And this is the result. And I don't think it's too bad. Let's take a look here. We've got flying drones. It's twilight, which was actually one of my favorite times of the day. It's kind of like mystical, magical. That and 3 a.m. Got a sophisticated little skyline, so it's kind of urban, but a lot of green. Like I stan this, I co-sign this, I approve whatever term you want to use. There's like solar energy happening here. She's got like this hologram thing with AI education, which is going to be the new term in 4 years after I'm president. We're not going to say education anymore. We're going to say education because I like to eat. And then there's a makerspace, and I am a member at a very cool makerspace right now. And there's 3D printing and laser stuff. I go there just to really work on AI stuff. But it's a really cool vibe. We got an AI hub. We got these rotunda building. I don't know what this is. This is a little bit sus right here. I don't know what is that, like a biblically accurate angel, a UFO, a portal to hell in the middle of the sky. I don't know. But ignore that. The rest of it's awesome. We got windmills. Again, drones for security, you know, and entertainment purposes because they will get together and do light shows. Like, I want to live here right now. Right now. Seriously, look. There's even like something called a tech farm, which I don't know what that is. And like cars go, but you can also eat in the middle of the street, even though there's cars. Like this is like my utopia, seriously. Little shacks, the lighting's dope, warm. Oh, somebody please. Well, if you elect to be president, I will deliver this idyllic world to you. Yes, and this will be me as Big Brother overseeing my flock. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay, Ultimate Glow Up Planner. I have finished the first draft of the premium offer, right? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take screenshots of this and upload it to Gemini and probably a couple of other ones actually, and have them all critique it and pick apart any issues and then finalize it. And then part of the premium service is also generating a PDF and I think 3 or 4 videos. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm not going to record this whole thing because I'm realizing even if I don't include the OBS screen recording in my video, that crap is taking up a hella hard drive space on my Mac. So I'm like, why record stuff I'm not even going to show? I'm going to edit like by not recording useless material. So that's my new modus operandi. You live and you learn, right? It's one of my favorite expressions. So rather than record 3 hours of just me typing and mumbling to myself, I'm going to try to make this a little bit more focused, at least for today, since I'm just building more product. Again, all the prompts will be on the website, so you're not going to miss anything, because even if it's not on video, it will be in full on the website, aicreators.us. So enough of that. Right now I'm just going to take screenshots of my planner. Let me show it to you. I'll show it to you. Why not? So Notion Ultimate Glow Up Planner. So this is the part B, the premium upsell. And actually, let's go to the official site. Okay, so there's what it would look like to the person who buys it. There's a video. There's my goal this week. And then the celebrity schedule board. These are the original 4. This is what the $7 product will give. And then there's an additional 5. There's an additional 5. I can talk. Blah, blah, blah. So one of the first things I'm going to address is, why is this in this format and this we have in this format? Can we make it a little bit more cohesive and add these also to a table and make it a little bit nicer? So that's what's going to happen. That's the first thing I'm going to address. But just to show you some of the things, here's the supermodel reset. And there's, AM, PM, skin notes. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Rockstar recovery. And I got to dive deep because I'm not sure what some of these things actually do. I built it based on Gemini's instructions, but I don't really recall what the heck these things mean. So I might have to actually add some instructions, because if I can't figure it out and I'm the builder of this thing, the user certainly isn't going to understand. So that might be a critique that I give it and be like, hey, you asked me to test, and this is what I think. We have a little bit of an issue here with the confusion factor for the user. I don't want them to be confused. I want them to have a good experience. So what can we do? Then we have Silver Screen Siren. This is the Hollywood-based one. And it's got, what the product does is it really just gives people a choice of which kind of persona they want to be, at least for the day, if not for the week. So they can choose based on their own vibe. Are they an aligned artist? Are they feeling silver screenish? Are they feeling like a rock star? And we even have a K-pop themed one, the Soul Star, the official guide to glass skin. So pretty neat things, and I just want to make sure that everything works well. So I'm going to be testing, and oops, that doesn't need to be there. So, testing, make sure things make sense, and give it to ChatGPT and probably Claude. Give the screenshots and have them kind of critique it, and then amalgamate all those criticisms into one chat that I'm going to give to Gemini and have it figure out what needs to be tweaked. So I'll be back with the next update as soon as I've taken all my screenshots and done that process of like the first criticism round. Okay, see you soon. All right, quick little update. I've spent about the last 3 or 4 hours working, and I came up with a little breakthrough. Backing up a little bit, I took the current product screenshots. I uploaded them to ChatGPT, to Grok, and to Claude. Had them review everything. Also had Gemini produce like a marketing debrief as if I was presenting this product to investors and a marketing and sales plan to investors as an exercise, so that we can all be on the kind of the same page, me and the other four, well, and the four LLMs, of like, what is this product, what's the plan, and then get feedback. So I asked them all to critique it, to find the weaknesses in the plan, and I fed that all back into Gemini. I asked it to critique the critique, and it came up with certain things. One of the things that came out was we need to redesign some things because visually the product is a little bit weak compared to other things in the market, which I was feeling that. So I'm glad that the LLMs themselves identified that, and it was actually Claude Opus 4 that pointed that out. It said, based on your premium categorization, it just doesn't look very premium based on its analysis of the screenshots. So I went back to Gemini, and there were a couple of other things. You'll see in the prompts if you go to the website. I'll tell you what they were. A little bit more on the marketing thing. It wants me to involve influencers. It wants me to be a little bit more conservative with the financial projections and the conversion rate. So I think that's a good thing. I tend to prefer to look at a little bit more worst case scenario, so that way expectations are set right. So I appreciated that. So everything's, very logical and rational. I'm very pleased with the performance of all four LLMs, which would be Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, and Grok. All of them. Even Gemini said, these are good analyses, whatever. I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so I'm back to Gemini, and I said, okay, let's start redesigning things. And I kept screwing up. It keeps wanting to use databases. And databases in Notion are a freaking nightmare. They just don't work. So I was like, okay, this is not going to work. And Gemini is apologizing to me. And it's like, you are right, I'm 100% wrong. They're very propitiative. I was like, let me think. What is the issue? The issue is that Gemini is relying on an outdated knowledge base regarding Notion. It's asking me to do things, and when I go to do it in Notion, the names are different, the functionality is slightly different, and this has been a point of friction in this entire cycle. So I said, okay, what would I do with a human? I wouldn't just keep saying, dude, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong, hello. I'd be like, I have to fill in this person's knowledge gap. So what I did was I went to Notion, and I looked for the specific area of like images, because what we're dealing with and the issue is basically images, and putting them in a grid, and a visually appealing grid. So I went and just copied the entire page, images and all, just highlighted it all, copied and pasted it, and then I put that into Gemini, and I said, these are the instructions, man. These are the current ways to handle media files, because it wanted me to create a table and drag and drop an image into the table, and Notion does not do that. It just does not do that. It does not allow you to drag an image into a table cell. What it will do is allow you to make columns, and in those columns, which comes out table-like, then you can do images, video, text, everything. So that's the actual solution. So I put all that into Gemini. Gemini said, holy cow, you're right, this is the way to do it, and let's go. So what I'm going to do to Gemini, and this is where we're like, if you're not getting good results of AI, yes, AI's got weaknesses, but generally it's something that you could be doing better, honestly. So what I'm going to do in Gemini is put a system prompt. And this was going to be like, if you do not know, or the user shows you after a couple of examples that your knowledge base is outdated, stop, do not proceed, and ask for current documentation on the application that's being used. That way, because I forget, right? That way, both of us are reminded, like, hey, we don't know what we're doing. Let's go look at the manual. So that was a huge learning for me today. It's just like, you know what? these things are smart, but they only rely on the data. They're robots, right? They're not alive. And even human beings would do the same thing. You know, they would be like, okay, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. And somebody's going to be like, here's how you do it. Same thing with an AI. So the moral of the story in this long-winded little diatribe is feed proper data, the most current instructions or the most current knowledge about a subject to the AI while you're prompting or in the system prompt or somewhere so that you get the most accurate data. Because I've wasted probably, I don't know, probably at least 10 hours in this process so far. I'll say a full day's worth of work with errors and trying to figure out what does Gemini actually mean? What does it want me to do? Because I don't see this option. This menu item is not the same. So feeding it the current manual, feeding it the current data, super important. All right, I'm going to continue. I thought I would be done today and start marketing today. Here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that in the next 2 or 3 hours that I'm going to be working on this is I'm going to finish the actual premium product and the $7 product, and everything's going to be cohesive and looking nice. So tomorrow, I can actually launch. So stay tuned. I will do one little brief wrap-up video unless something major happens. Like this to me was major. It was a realization of how to really get better results with AI and not blame the AI for being dumb. So yeah, I'll be back probably for one last wrap-up unless I do some other big learning in my life with AI in the next hour or two. All right, see you soon. Okay, last update of the day before I release this video and put everything up on AIcreators.us. Let me transition here so you can see Gemini real quick. All right, so we have completely finished the $7 offer. It's at a point where I like it. Everything makes sense. The main $27 product is done. So what I did was I pitted ChatGPT against this thing and had it give its feedback. And what it basically said was there needs to be a little bit more to the premium product, and I agree. Gemini was like, no, it's done. You have justified the price. And I'm like, to go from $7 and pay another $20 just for 5 more archetypes doesn't seem right. So I went back to Gemini and kind of agreed. Well, yeah, it did agree. And said, we're going to keep the price at $7, $27. I guess ChatGPT suggested maybe dropping the price a little bit, but Gemini is going for the big bucks, and I like money. So I'm also going to go for the big bucks. But what we're going to do tomorrow, the first part of the day, real quick, we're just going to create a skincare glossary as a value add with some of the basic terms. No medical advice. We're just defining some of the basic skincare terms. We're going to add that to the planner, to the ultimate one. We're going to do a build your own archetype template. This one I'm not too sure about whether this is going to be the actual format or if there's going to be a different kind of, because it's asking about build your own archetype template to kind of build your own routine, your own skincare routine. But the planner pages themselves kind of have spots for that. So yeah, I have to think this through. I kind of get where Gemini's going. I just have to, tweak it in my head so I can fully understand it. And then a digital sticker pack. It's going to be real quick and easy to do. So I will quickly make that. So here's what our ultimate offer is. Pretty cool. So you have the $7, self-liquidating offer, which once they purchase, we will immediately prompt them for the upsell to upgrade to the Ultimate Edition and get all 9 planners plus a skincare glossary, the custom routine builder, and a digital sticker pack, all for a one-time price of $27. That is an epic offer that easily justifies the price and creates a powerful incentive to upgrade. I like it. I think it's a strong offer. The product itself is pretty decent. I'm thinking, well, this is obviously for people with a little bit of disposable income, and they're just like, I want some, like a cool Notion template It's an emotional product. It's not really something you can do with like an Excel spreadsheet. But what it does is it motivates them to take care of the skin because, you know, there's emotion to it. There's pretty graphics. Let me show you what I did. On Gemini's recommendation, actually, it had me generate images. And here are the images that I generated using Night Cafe. One for each archetype, and I had ChatGPT write the prompts. So today was a ChatGPT, Grok, Claude, Opus, a Gemini day. Like I used everybody. So these are the ones. I'll probably edit this one because there's a couple of illogical reflections. But I'll take care of that quickly tomorrow. And we have this horrible morphing creature over here. But those are quick little fixes. Those are like literally 2 minutes. And this is what the product looks like as of right now. It is very pretty. We have the intro video. I've made call out boxes per Gemini's recommendation. And then this is what I'm most happy about. Instead of we had an ugly table before, not very visually appealing. Now I've got 4 celebrity archetypes on the basic planner, right? And here I'm going to probably put something else. I'll have to put something else. It's a little bit plain here. Like upgrade to the ultimate one for whatever. I don't know. And then here is the big bad boy. This one is really cool. It's got all 9 of the archetypes. Okay. This is neat. Each one links. So if I go to, let's say, the Soul Star, we have the tracker. And I've placed this kind of disclaimer here, which is replace the sample products and receive below with your own, because I want to make it clear that I'm not recommending these products. They're just a sample for you to go in and edit. So I've put that several areas so that this is not construed in any way, shape, or form to be medical advice, because, you know, also, like, I don't know, right? So I don't want to even give the impression that I'm giving medical advice because I don't know anything about dermatology. And I would hate to say, you know, hey, use an oil cleanser or a water-based cleanser or whatever for the wrong skin type. So it's basically read the sample products and put your own stuff in there. What I'm selling is not so much this information, it is the structure, the format, the template. So that's my interest. That's what I want to sell. I want to make it easy for women to track their skincare routine and in a fun way. Like, oh, yes, I love K-pop. So yes, this resonates with me. Next week they might say like, hey, let's go for the Island Girl. And this is a different format. I'll try this one. So that's that. So tomorrow, the plan is just quickly generate the premium add-ons and then go back and forth. Tomorrow, I doubt I'll launch tomorrow because I really want to figure out I want to get all my numbers right, the exact strategy. And also I can't launch because I have to create the marketing assets. So tomorrow basically be finish this, go to the planning stage as far as the actual TikTok ads and the assets, like what are they going to look like, and then create all the assets. They said, I think with ChatGPT was like, you need about 15 videos, 3 to 5 isn't going to be enough. So we'll see. Do I really need that many? Thankfully, I have some excellent AI tools to help me make videos. And I even got like a 30 minutes on Colossian for like an AI avatar thing. So I'll be having some fun making content, which is really on my alley. I do love the marketing side, but I especially love the content side. I've been an artist all my life, musician, producer, amateur filmmaker, writer. So I love the content marketing aspect of everything. So this is actually pretty cool. And I'm just really psyched to learn all about TikTok ads. So that's it. Long-winded. I'm sorry. I get excited about things and start blabbing. But tomorrow will be day 8, starting the second week tomorrow. That gives me 3 weeks to try to make $1,000 out of 100. Yeah, boy. Okay. Well, do your best and forget the rest. That's what I always say. See ya.